Welcome to SKST Radio, and you are tuned in to Real Talk with Kami Grayson and the Dream Team. I have me and my co-host Kurt here.
What up? What up?
Welcome to the show, and we got some special guests for you lined up this month. Woo! We got the beautiful, beautiful Fee Blue in the house today. Hello, Miss Fee Blue. Welcome to
Uh,
the show.
Thank you so much for having
Well,
you.
I know you way in Atlanta, and I know it's the weekend and it's the holiday. I appreciate you being here on the show. Ladybug, tell the world about you. Give us a little background on you.
So I'm Phoebe, uh, a recording artist. Started singing and
We just lost.
trying to influence positivity on people for the longest time. I actually became an engineer as a plan A because my music wasn't working out early in the day. So I'm a very corporate figure as well. But I play piano, I play trumpet, and I really just want to influence music in a different way. From my perspective, I've been doing this for a very long time, and I'm really ready now to start kicking things out. But that's just a little bit about me. I mean, I love life. I love the dirt. I love to garden, and I like to do regular stuff just like everybody else. But at the core of my being and my purpose is really about giving back, whether that's physical stuff or whether it's knowledge or whether it's just inspiration through my music. So that's pretty who I am in a nutshell.
That's awesome. So, Miss V Blue, how did you get your start in the industry? What made you decide to take this as a passion of yours?
Ever since I was a kid, I was always like literally black, and every day I used to go outside and hate to feel the way that people made me feel. So I would always go in the club and write because that made me feel better. Like, and going in a dark closet and just trying to keep the lines was something of interest to me. So anyway, I learned that I had a gift of poetry. Then I learned that I had a gift of singing. So I just kind of merged those together. But how I got my original start was by Grandmaster Slice. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of him, but Grandmaster Slice did the electric slide.
Okay.
The electric slide. He
Okay,
did
yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
remember that.
Mm-hmm.
he did my very first demo when I was about 13 years old. And after that demo, you know, it, his connections, his camaraderies kind of formed a coalition for me. And then when I got to college, I really started to meet some people that were really, doing some things in the business. And so it wasn't until I met Lee Major Kid, who was one piece of the Incredibles, who did
Mm-hmm.
so much for so many. But that's
Absolutely.
that's kind of where I gained my real entry into the industry as a songwriter. And so
So,
I
so you're saying you've had some successes there? Have you placed any material for other artists or anything of that nature?
so yes and no. So the things have sold pieces, but I've never had radio or with any major artist. So
Gotcha.
it was
Gotcha. Gotcha.
made in the background that helped me point where I am right now as an artist. So
So how many albums do you have out? If they even still call it now?
so I don't have any, I do have records out. So my very first release ever was Testimony. Remember, I started out as a
Mm-hmm.
gospel artist. So there's a single called Testimony that was released, I think, in 2015, maybe 2016. It was a church go-go beat. So in 2016, they weren't really ready for it, but that was my first record to chart. It did chart on the gospel charts. My next single after that was Good Wine. So Good Wine is doing very well. It started out. We did a UK release with Good Wine, so it did very well in the UK. Just never really came, over to the United States. And then um, that we had a label to push it in South Korea. So right now, I was doing drops, having to speak in Korean. It was real interesting. But that record is doing
Wow.
overseas. Then it has a different sound, the Good Wine. And then after Good Wine, I released Nothing to Say. Nothing to Say to date is probably my biggest success, because that was the first record that I actually received money from. Like years I've been putting investing into myself. And Nothing to Say plays on Sirius XM. Shout out, uh, Channel 48, Heart and Soul. Like, they really in my record, and they show me a lot of love. And from that record, Nothing to Say, playing on Sirius XM, Heart and Soul, it was picked up by a lot of other stations. And I know when I went to visit New Orleans, I heard my record like somewhere that I wasn't hustling to try to get it. I was like, oh my God. They were record in all the way in New Orleans when we went down to visit, and I get a lot of love down there too.
Yeah.
So, and then the next record that I released was called Yellow. It was a different vibe song, but I released Yellow. Feeling Good is the
Hmm.
subtitle. I released that one last year. So I try to release a song every year until I could get the backing and the need to do an album like I want to do it.
Well, let me ask you this, because early on you had said something about bringing positivity and doing something a little different. So, how do you feel about the current state of music overall, as what's being promoted aggressively, and what do you think how you're going to fit and or be different?
So how do I feel about the current? You see this because it's you want to be careful what I say, because I'm too early in my lane to piss anybody off. but
Okay, okay.
but I mean, I gotta be realistic. So I feel like today music has become less about talent, less and less about content. It's really more about jingle and instant gratification. If you ask me, that's what it's
Mm.
about. So there's really not a lot of
Good way of
wholesomness,
putting it.
huh?
I said that was a good way of putting it.
I
You
That was
mean,
worded
that
it
that
well.
was very
Yeah.
politically correct how you worded that. I like that.
I can get unpolitical. We'll talk that once I have a hit record on Billboard. Then I'll talk
Gotcha.
my shit. But I'm gonna
Okay,
save.
okay.
But no, I just feel like there's there's a lot of talk that is creating a culture of unsuccessful um, and irresponsible and disconnected people. And I don't want to just
Absolutely.
say, but it's disconnecting. In my opinion, it's disconnecting everybody from the core of what can really keep somebody focused, grounded, make right decisions, that type of thing. Now, granted,
Hmm.
I like the beats, I like the songs. I just don't encourage people to do drugs. My father was addicted to crack
Hmm.
cocaine, so I
Hmm.
don't that type of behavior. I don't encourage women to be hoes and sleep with men for money, because I'm an engineer. I work for every damn thing I have. And I want to
Hmm.
teach, I don't want to teach my daughter, or anybody else's daughter for that matter, your ass in front of a man to get money is a decent thing to do. I want to teach, about going back to ground zero. For me, that always just been God first, and then just having some key and traits and things that you really want to strive for. And that's kind of what I feel about the current state. It's too much playing right now. And half of these people that are making these songs, their kids don't even see the streets, or the struggle, but there are kids that are really listening up to these people, as if that lifestyle is something to really strive for, and I don't like that. So let
Yeah.
me stop.
Well said. Very well said.
But the
So
but
we're
So
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to it's just going to be to try to grab who I can. In the beginning, I was, trying so hard to be what the popular culture wanted me to be, but it
Mm-hmm.
didn't. I'm just going to be myself and use what God gave me and use talents that and grab whoever I can and whoever I can, um, whoever I can help transform and teach the fish. That's going to be my journey in this.
so what are you currently working on now?
So right now, I'm working on a single called "Get It No More." It's I'm working on sexy and feel sexy. 'Cause I'm not. I'm kind of a round the way girl, so sexy is something that I don't know much about. But anyway, I'm working on a new single called "Get It No More." It's a love song. It's subtle. It was produced by Lee Major. My brother Edric Miles helped me to and produced along with my partner Ebony Gold, Ebony Casey, with Slam Street Records, and we record that out at studios. But um, working on the video for that, so everything's ready to go. It's just the video that we're waiting on. I'm trying to on my inner sexy. So
Let me
I
see,
hear
sexy,
you.
sexy.
So let me
So
ask
speaking of
you.
sexy, sexy, um, how did you come up with the name Fee Blue?
very interesting story, but so I started out using my regular name, which is Felicia.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people call me Fee. My father's nickname was Fee. I was father. They would always call me Fee. When I got to college, people started calling me Fee, but I had Baloo at the end, and so there was this executive. I won't call his name, but there was an executive that heard my music for the first time, and we told him that my name was Felicia Baloo, and he just kept calling us like that girl Fee Blue, that girl Fee Blue, and then Ibani and I were like Fee Blue, and we didn't want to tell him that he had the wrong name because we were like I ain't trying to mess up no opportunities, so we changed the name in there. So that was about in I think like 2018, and we was like, oh, it sounds good, and it's still me. We have to
Right.
ask. Felicia and Baloo is my maiden name, so Fee Blue. Fee Blue it is. That's how I got
There
it.
you go.
The irony.
Interesting. So, elaborate a little bit because you had said earlier on, as if your music had a specific purpose. So, what would you say your goal is in the industry? If you could sum that up into a few words.
A few words would career. I want to have systems like Mary J. Blige, career like Jennifer Lopez.
Okay.
So yeah, but I want to be like Oprah. If that makes
All wrapped into one.
She got some lofty. She went from J Lo to Mary to Oprah. That's what I'm talking about.
sense. Like Mary still came from that place that I come from, and she kind of morphed into that human that is so multifaceted, but she's so real and so raw. And that's what I love about Mary. Jennifer, she kind of came from the same beginnings as well, rough around the edges, and she's built an entire enterprise, perfumes, clothing. So, it's the business aspect for me. Now I'm a giver. And so that's how I also more Oprah in there because I feel like Oprah is like a little piece of God. I just feel like it. She just gives so much and she has been blessed with so much. And when you have the autonomy and the resources to give like that, to me that will help my purpose unfold, at its maximum potential. So
Okay.
Mm.
So you started out as a gospel artist. What changed that trajectory for you?
a lot of things. So I started out as a gospel artist, and when I got addicted, I mean, I jumped in head first. I was going in churches, speaking, and all. It was a learning experience. So I had to learn that you can't really, you can't really preach. I can't really preach the gospel, whether it's music, it's through speaking, if my stuff together, you know.
Mhm.
And so I realized when I started, when God spoke to me and told me to go, I didn't. I skipped the part about cleansing myself. You know, I'm drinking alcohol. I'm doing all these things. I needed to first cleanse myself before I could help in a pure way cleanse other people. So that's when I kind of prayed about it, and then I started on my mission to just write real music, you know, because due to my career and due to, you know, who I was in the public eye, you don't want to showcase your vulnerabilities. And I had not done that to that point. And so I was like, man, you know what? It is what it is. I'm going to showcase my vulnerabilities, and y'all going to learn with me as I unfold and as I learn these lessons. You know, everybody that rocks with me is gonna learn, and that's how I morphed out, because I wasn't ready. I won't live in all right to be trying to tell nobody nothing.
That makes sense.
That's basically.
And
Awesome.
so you've had quite a few releases. Tell us about the significance and the timing of the releases and like some of your previous releases.
Yeah, all of well, they're all significant just because I don't release a record till not only everybody around feels like it's impactful, but until I'm ready to release it. But I always release it on very important people's birthdays. So, for example, my mom's birthday is April 18th, so I released Testimony 18th back in, I think, 2016. Um, Childhood friend I had passed away suddenly. I released a record on his birthday. So the release dates are very special to me. So when I release this next record, it's going to be my brother. That's my brother's birthday. So every release date is really tied to a significant person that I love, and either you know, a birthday or anniversary for them, just for me to celebrate
Yeah,
them.
remembrance. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Well,
You're honoring the people.
yeah, it is really good. So, Fee, if you could give any type of nuggets to an aspiring actor, artist, recording artist, what would you say? What would you tell them?
Anybody aspiring, first tell them that you can do it if you believe. You're gonna hear no so many times. I've heard no so many, but I feel like when it's time for your stars to align, you manifest what it is that you've always been looking in that mirror, dreaming about. You know, telling yourself, you know, in your dream what you can do. It's gonna happen. The only other thing I can say is, you know, be a loyal person. Treat people right. Be honest. um, and make sure that the life you're living outside of your ambitions aligns to the karma that you know that you want, because you don't want to have a, you know, say, oh, I'm an artist, I'm doing all of this stuff, but then you live in a negative life. You want to always make sure that the things you're doing every day are helping to produce, you know, beautiful flower that you want to block. So yeah, if Alicia Keys can do it, so can you. If Mary J. Blige can do it, so can you. I always like to get the ask themselves the question. So, what's the difference between me and and another successful person? Um, the only difference is that they quit and they put the time, motivation, and the energy and the faith into their mission. So that's really the. You're gonna have times that you really want to give up, because I know, like right before COVID, I was just so tired. But you find that spark in you. Don't give up. You know.
Yeah.
You,
So
Well,
where
you
can we find? Oh,
no, go
where
ahead.
can we
Go ahead.
find? We're just
I just
fighting to
thought of
talk.
something when she
Oh,
was saying that. I was,
where can we find you if somebody wanted to reach out to you?
so if they want to reach out to me right now, Instagram is the best place where I'm mostly active. So it's at fee.blue, at fee dot BLU. You can also find me on Facebook, which is at Fee Blu. On Twitter, of the platforms right now, we're relaunching my website. So you can also find me at www.feeblu.com. But we won't be relaunching that until we do the countdown for the new singles. So probably in the beginning of August is you'll actually be able to interact with me on my website. Um, but those are the places that you can find me.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, go ahead. What
Snapchat.
was
I'm
that?
on.
Snapchat. Okay. Well, I wanted to ask about your support system. You seem to have a phenomenal support system. Tell us about the people in your life that support you to get you where you are now.
Uh, so I'll start with I love my families. My husband, the big supporter. He's always there to help me and push me. Oh my God, he pushes me hard sometimes. My daughter, everything I do, I fight for her. My mother, my sister, my brother, they are with me at pretty much every event. I don't care if I got one member in the audience; they're gonna be there supporting me. Um,
That's good.
so my partner is Ibani. He owns Slam Street Records, so he believed in me when a lot of people did not. And he pushes me to precision. So, whether it's a live performance or whether a recording session, he forces me to not have to use auto tone. He forces auto tune. He forces me to be as wholesome and as good as I can be, which I think that. So I really appreciate that. Um, my makeup artist Monte Stolich. He's been my makeup artist, my back singer, my hairstylist.
Wow.
Started from all the way from the bottom, and they are always in my corner. And so another group of people. So Angela Knight, she's
Yeah,
acting as my
that's
yeah,
my girl.
keeps me in the community. Um, she makes sure that all my merchandising and any type of that we need to do. Like she's always just helping to um seen and heard.
Hmm.
Her and
Hmm.
Cavell G Law Firm. So the G Law Firm supports a lot of my initiatives as well. So I may be missing some people, but I mean those are the people right now that I would say are 100% always in my corner. And my big bro, Ming Mitchell, he always keeps me safe. So he handles all of my security and stuff. So when I go places, because ironically, I don't know how, but I got to a point where I had some people like trying to come up, and I was flattered by it. They were like, no. Anyway, so
Yeah, keep the groupies to a stand here. Keep them back. Keep them back.
I was just happy to have some. I was like, yay. So those are really the people around me. Um,
Okay. Well,
So,
listen.
We back.
We're back.
okay, there you are.
Oh, there we are. Lord have
Oh,
mercy.
okay.
A
At
little
first,
bit of
for a
buffering
minute, I
don't
was
hurt.
like, thought we
A
lost
little buffering won't hurt. It's
See,
okay.
if we were on radio, we wouldn't have had this.
her.
So anyway, I was saying, Fee, thank you so much for being on the show. We appreciate your time. We're hoping that this interview can help get you out there, and just we want to support what you're doing and your following. So thank you again, and thank you for being on the show.
Thank you. Thank you. You are awesome. Love the energy.
oh, thank,
Graciously loved your talent and the radiantness that you brought all the way from Atlanta to us. So thank
oh, thank you for the opportunity. Appreciate it.
Well, until next time, everybody, we'll see you again on skstradio.com. Bye
Bye.
bye.
Aisha, she was the girl that I never had, and I wanna get to know her better. Woo!
Y'all
Come on
remember
now,
Aisha.
Aisha. Y'all remember